Greetings, myth lovers. Welcome to another deep dive into the mysterious and mythical world of the gods. Today we're talking about the Allfather himself, Odin. Known as the god of wisdom, war, and death, Odin's tales are legendary. But beyond the epic battles and quests for knowledge, there are some truly bizarre aspects of Odin that are rarely discussed. So, buckle up as we explore 10 weird questions about Odin that will make you see this Norse god in a whole new light. And trust me, question number 10 is so strange, you won't want to miss it. Let's get started with the first question. Why did Odin sacrifice his own eye? Odin's sacrifice of his eye is one of the most iconic stories in Norse mythology, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. To gain wisdom and knowledge, Odin sacrificed his right eye at Mimir's well, a mystical source of wisdom and insight located beneath the roots of Yggdrasil. The world tree, Mimir, a being of immense knowledge, demanded a high price for even a sip of the water from the well. By giving up his eye, Odin wasn't just sacrificing his physical sight, he was exchanging it for the ability to see beyond the physical world. This act of self-sacrifice is emblematic of Odin's relentless quest for knowledge. Unlike other gods who might pursue power or pleasure, Odin's ultimate goal was wisdom, no matter the cost. But here's the interesting part. Some scholars suggest that Odin's loss of an eye symbolizes the idea that wisdom often requires us to give up something dear to us, perhaps our own prejudices, or even a part of our identity. In this way, Odin's sacrifice is not just a story of a god giving up his eye, but a metaphor for the human condition and the pursuit of enlightenment. Question 2. What's the deal with Odin's ravens? Odin's ravens, Hugin thought and Munin memory, are much more than mere companions, they're extensions of Odin himself. Every morning, these two birds fly across the 9 realms, gathering information and observing events before returning to Odin to whisper what they've seen into his ears. This daily ritual allows Odin to keep a close watch on everything happening across the world, making him one of the most informed figures in Norse mythology. What makes this even more fascinating is the symbolic nature of the ravens. Hugin represents Odin's cognitive ability, his capacity for strategic thinking and foresight. Munin, on the other hand, symbolizes the importance of memory and the lessons of the past. Together, they ensure Odin remains the wisest of all beings, able to anticipate the future and learn from history. But here's where it gets weird. Some myths suggest that Odin feared losing these ravens, particularly Munin. The loss of memory would mean losing the wisdom accumulated over eons, which might explain why Odin was always on a relentless quest to acquire even more knowledge. In essence, the ravens are not just Odin's eyes and ears, they're also his mind and soul, a constant reminder of the importance of thought and memory in shaping reality. Question 3. Did Odin really have a magical spear? Odin's spear, Gungnir, is one of the most powerful weapons in Norse mythology, and like everything else associated with Odin, it comes with its own set of fascinating stories. Gungnir was crafted by the dwarves, who were considered the master smiths of the Norse world. This spear was said to be so perfectly balanced and forged with such precision that it could never miss its target, regardless of the skill of the person wielding it. But Gungnir was more than just a weapon, it was a symbol of Odin's power over fate. In Norse culture, oaths were incredibly important, and breaking an oath was a grievous sin. Gungnir was often used during the swearing of oaths, and it was believed that any promise made on the spear could never be broken. This gave Odin a unique authority over the destinies of both gods and men, as he could influence events by simply ensuring that an oath was made on Gungnir. Additionally, Gungnir's unerring accuracy symbolizes Odin's far-reaching influence. Just as the spear could never miss, Odin's will and wisdom could not be thwarted. Some interpretations even suggest that Gungnir represents the inevitability of fate itself, a force that, once set in motion, cannot be stopped or altered. This makes Gungnir not just a tool of war, but a profound embodiment of Odin's role as the shaper of destinies. Question 4. Why does Odin ride an 8-legged horse? Sleipnir, Odin's 8-legged horse, is perhaps one of the strangest creatures in Norse mythology, and its origins are equally bizarre. Sleipnir was born from the trickster god Loki, who shapeshifted into a mare in order to distract a giant stallion. After the task was completed, Loki gave birth to Sleipnir, who was then given to Odin as a gift. Despite its unusual parentage, Sleipnir became Odin's most trusted steed, capable of traveling faster than any other horse and even crossing into other realms, including the land of the dead. The 8 legs of Sleipnir are often interpreted as a symbol of speed and power, allowing Odin to travel great distances quickly. But there's also a deeper meaning to Sleipnir's unusual form. In many cultures, the number 8 is associated with transition and transformation, and Sleipnir's ability to move between worlds could represent Odin's mastery over life, death, and everything in between. Furthermore, Sleipnir's role as a psychopompa guide for souls to the afterlife adds another layer of mystery. Riding Sleipnir, Odin could traverse the boundaries between the living and the dead, gathering knowledge from both realms. This makes Sleipnir not just a means of transportation, but a crucial link in Odin's quest for wisdom, reflecting his desire to understand all aspects of existence, even those beyond mortal comprehension. Question 5. Why does Odin have so many names? Odin is known by over 170 different names, each reflecting a different aspect of his character, deeds, or roles within Norse mythology. Some of these names include Allfather, Wanderer, Raven God, and Lord of the Gallows. But why does Odin need so many names? The answer lies in the multifaceted nature of his character and the diverse roles he played in the lives of the Norse people. Each name of Odin represents a different aspect of his power or influence. For instance, as the Allfather, Odin is seen as the father of all gods and men, the ultimate patriarch of the Norse pantheon. As the Wanderer, he is the wise traveler, often disguised and testing the hospitality and morality of those he meets. As the Raven God, he is the master of knowledge and secrets, always accompanied by his ravens, Hugin and Munin. And as the Lord of the Gallows, Odin is the god of death and sacrifice, having hung himself on Yggdrasil to gain the knowledge of the runes. But these names are more than just titles, they're also tools of power. In Norse culture, knowing the true name of something or someone was believed to grant control over it. By having so many names, Odin could invoke different powers or aspects of his identity, making him one of the most versatile and formidable gods. This multiplicity of names also reflects Odin's complex personality and his role as a god who is constantly evolving, always seeking new knowledge, and never content with a single identity. In a way, Odin's many names are a testament to his endless quest for understanding and mastery over all things. Question 6. Did Odin really start Ragnarok? Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology, is one of the most dramatic and apocalyptic events in any mythological tradition. But did you know that Odin, the god who seemingly sought to preserve order, played a significant role in initiating this catastrophic event? It's true, Odin's actions, while seemingly aimed at preventing Ragnarok, actually set the stage for its inevitability. One of the key events leading to Ragnarok was Odin's relentless quest to gather warriors for Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain. Odin selected only the bravest and most skilled warriors who died in battle, bringing them to Valhalla to train for the final battle at Ragnarok. While this might seem like a defensive measure, it was also a self-fulfilling prophecy. By preparing for Ragnarok, Odin was, in essence, acknowledging that the end was inevitable. Furthermore, Odin's interactions with other beings, such as the Norns, the Weavers of Fate, suggest that he was acutely aware of the prophecy surrounding Ragnarok. Despite this, Odin continued to make decisions that would lead to the fulfillment of these prophecies. For example, his son Baldur's death, which was a key event that signaled the beginning of the end, was something Odin foresaw but could not prevent. This tragic inevitability of fate is a recurring theme in Norse mythology, and Odin's role in Ragnarok highlights the paradox of a god who, despite his immense wisdom and power, is ultimately bound by the very fate he seeks to control. In the end, Odin's actions can be seen as both a preparation for and a catalyst of Ragnarok. His role in the end of the world is a reminder that even the gods are not immune to the cycles of time and fate, and that sometimes, in trying to avoid the inevitable, we may actually bring it closer. Question 7. Why did Odin have so many children? Odin fathered numerous children, each of whom played a vital role in Norse mythology. Among his offspring are well-known gods like Thor, the thunder god, and Balder, the god of light and purity, as well as lesser-known figures like Vidar, the silent god of vengeance, and Vale, the avenger of Baldur's death. But why did Odin have so many children, and what purpose did they serve? Odin's children were more than just extensions of his lineage, they were instruments of his influence across the 9 realms. Each child embodied a different aspect of the world or of Odin himself. For instance, Thor's strength and protection of mankind reflect Odin's role as a protector, while Baldur's purity and tragic death mirror Odin's own struggles with fate and prophecy. Moreover, Odin's children often had specific destinies tied to the larger mythological narrative. For example, Vidar was prophesied to avenge Odin's death by killing Fenrir, the monstrous wolf that would devour Odin during Ragnarok. This means that Odin's offspring were not just ordinary gods. They were carefully placed pieces on the chessboard of destiny, each with a role to play in the grand scheme of things. Odin's prolific parentage also reflects the idea of legacy and the continuation of influence beyond one's own life. By fathering gods who would continue to shape the world after his death, Odin ensured that his presence would be felt even after the end of the world. His children were his living legacy, each carrying a part of his essence and his power, and through them, Odin's impact on the world would continue long after Ragnarok. Question 8. What's up with Odin's obsession with knowledge? Odin's obsession with knowledge is one of the defining characteristics of his personality, but it's also one of the most intriguing aspects of his mythology. Unlike many other gods who are content with their divine power, Odin is never satisfied. His thirst for wisdom drives him to make extreme sacrifices and undertake dangerous quests, all in the name of understanding the mysteries of the universe. One of the most famous examples of Odin's pursuit of knowledge is his self-sacrifice on Yggdrasil, the world tree. Odin hung himself from the tree for 9 days and nights, pierced by his own spear, in order to gain the secrets of the rune's ancient symbols that held the power of creation and destruction. This act of self-inflicted suffering was a ritual of initiation, through which Odin gained not just knowledge, but also a deep connection to the cosmic forces that govern the world. But Odin's quest for knowledge didn't stop there. He also sought out the wisdom of the dead, practicing necromancy and consulting the severed head of Mimir, which continued to offer counsel even after death. This eerie practice highlights Odin's willingness to explore even the darkest and most taboo realms in his pursuit of understanding. Odin's obsession with knowledge is not just about gaining power, it's also about control. By understanding the workings of the universe, Odin believed he could manipulate fate and shape the course of events. This makes Odin a complex figure, driven by a need to master the forces around him, even at great personal cost. His relentless pursuit of knowledge, even in the face of certain doom, is both his greatest strength and his ultimate tragedy, reflecting the paradox of a god who knows too much and yet not enough to escape his own fate. Question 9. Did Odin really commune with the dead? Odin's practice of necromancy is one of the more unsettling aspects of his character. As the god of wisdom and death, Odin often sought out knowledge from those who had already passed into the afterlife. This might seem strange, but in the context of Norse mythology, the dead were considered valuable sources of wisdom, as they had crossed the threshold into another realm and could offer insights that the living could not. One of the most famous instances of Odin's necromancy involves his consultation with the severed head of Mimir. After Mimir's death, Odin preserved his head and kept it with him, using it as a source of advice and knowledge. The idea that a dead head could continue to speak and offer counsel is both eerie and fascinating, reflecting the Norse belief in the persistence of consciousness after death. But Odin's interactions with the dead didn't stop with Mimir. He was also known to raise the spirits of the dead in order to question them about the future. This practice was not without risks, as communing with the dead was seen as dangerous and potentially corrupting. However, Odin's hunger for knowledge was so great that he was willing to take these risks, even if it meant dabbling in forbidden arts. Odin's necromancy highlights the lengths he would go to in his pursuit of wisdom. It also underscores the idea that knowledge, especially forbidden or hidden knowledge, often comes at a high price. Odin's willingness to commune with the dead is a testament to his unyielding desire to control his own destiny, even as it brings him closer to the forces of death that he ultimately seeks to understand. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the strangest question of them all. One of the most obscure and bizarre tales about Odin suggests that he consumed his own heart to gain unparalleled wisdom and power. This story, found in some of the more esoteric texts of Norse mythology, is shrouded in mystery and is often debated by scholars. But if we take it at face value, what could it mean? The act of eating one's own heart is a powerful symbol. In many cultures, the heart is considered the seat of the soul, the center of one's being. By consuming his own heart, Odin may have been attempting to internalize his own essence, gaining complete mastery over himself and, by extension, the cosmos. It's an act of ultimate sacrifice and self-consumption, where Odin becomes one with his own power, wisdom, and knowledge. This story also ties into the theme of Odin's relentless quest for knowledge, no matter the cost. Throughout his myths, Odin is portrayed as a god who is willing to sacrifice anything, even parts of himself, to achieve his goals. Whether it's his eye, his blood, or even his heart, Odin's sacrifices are a testament to his unyielding determination to understand and control the world around him. In a broader sense, this tale could be seen as a metaphor for the dangers of obsession. By consuming his own heart, Odin may have crossed a line, delving into a level of self-absorption that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. It's a reminder that the pursuit of power and knowledge, if taken to the extreme, can lead to self-destruction. In the end, Odin's heart-eating tale is one of the strangest and most thought-provoking stories in Norse mythology, leaving us to wonder just how far the Allfather was willing to go in his quest for ultimate wisdom. There you have it, folks, 10 weird questions about Odin that reveal just how complex and strange this god truly is. If you enjoyed this journey through Norse mythology, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mythical mysteries. Until next time, may the wisdom of Odin guide you on your own path.